Hello, hello. So, another stream, another day. Today, I think there's some few things on the table, but I start with doing some stuff for the issue called it's about the master node. So I have this issue from long time ago. Think about the RBE master node not being summed up or no messages. There's a bug, and I decided to just include it in the output, and that's that. So I will just have that simply included in here. I just did this little code for this, and let's see if that worked. For this to test it, I have to see if okay, I have the model M right now. That doesn't make any sense. Wait a second, I will change my model, which should be something like what should be that model? Let's do something simple. Let's use this model. All right, okay, let's just load that in. And then I will see and test if that worked. But I think in this case, the output is that there is nothing there. All right. So I think we would need something where there is actually a, and this brings us to the flange. The flange has something like this. Because in the flange there is a RBE3 and there's a force at the master node, and this, what I did here is, is doing stuff with the master node. So makes sense to test it on this one. Okay, no error, that's good. So let's see, data output flange should now have something with the RBE3 and the master node. Oh, it doesn't have that. Huh, strange. Okay, so if that didn't work, I have to see in the force extractor if that's not the case. Why is this not the case? If master node not in node to forces. Yeah, okay, well actually that could be. Here. No, that should not be. Okay, let's see. So I have a breakpoint here where I test if the master node is a node to forces. And I'm not 100% sure if this is an ID. Node to forces is being done with this thing. And this gives a dict back. And the dict has node ID. Okay, I see. So the problem is that there is a node ID instead of. Let's just make that clear that we are talking about talking about node ID to forces. So node ID. All right. So and then also I have to check if the master node ID is in the node ID to forces. Does that make sense? Do I have to do something like key? I'm always making mistakes here. Let's just quickly get that. So let this be a dictionary where I have a as a value and this. All right. And now I want to have print 1 in a. Is that true? Is also a in a? No. But is a in a items? No. Okay, what's then a items? Yeah, there's no a values, right? Ah, okay. Then we could do a in a values. All right, okay, so it's values, and this makes perfect sense. Okay. So little debug stuff really helps sometimes. So I cannot recommend that enough to just test it out with a simple example. Okay, so let's run the code again. And we don't need a breakpoint. Hopefully now the output is as expected. So what I would expect is that I have something like a false value for the master node on the RBE3, right? Oh, and here I have a problem. Okay. Okay. Typical mistake. I did the master ID at the key, but not here. Okay, let's rerun. Yeah, there's also something which makes no sense. Let me just quickly search that. Print. Yeah, we don't need to print that anymore. That was for debugging purposes. Okay, that's that. And now let's check the output in the flange model. Is there now in the summary something with the force? No. Why not? Yeah. That doesn't make any sense. Because I know he went in there and then he had a file write. Master node forces. I think I'm blind. No, there's nothing here. RB. Okay. That's the correct model. Flange, yeah. Okay, then I think we need to have a debug thing. If master node ID in node ID to forces. This is wrong, right? Well, it's wrong for... Yeah, man. Could also be totally wrong, yeah. So, let's check what is this an MPC for? Is it the RBE3? I guess not. MPC config is RBE2. Okay, so let's go again. Let's see again. What's the MPC? Maybe I should add a watch. Yeah, let's add a watch. So I can just see what the config is. So RB2 again, let's go once more. RB2 again, once more. RB3, now it's interesting. So the master node ID is 56332. 56332 should be in the input flange MPCF. 56332. It is there. Now it will be interesting. So this should resolve true. Right? So if I go now next, I'm here. And I get the forces out, which should be 500,000. Okay, in this case, I think the thing I missed is having it in the right output. Because there's a summary where it clearly isn't. Right? Or am I totally blind? No, there's nothing here. And then there's our rigid elements. And then there's 4. And here we have it. Alright. So in this case, it's just a problem that I have it put into the wrong right summary or whatever. So that would be then this right summary. Here I have the MPC config, whatever. There should be a master node here. Loads. Master node ID. And then let's do the same. The same like here. But now we don't have an... okay. There is no node to forces anymore. Well, where did it come from? To be honest, I think I have to redo this. Hey, hello, welcome in. Welcome in. Then there was some big changes, I think yesterday and today on the tool itself, and I will go over them in a bit. So stay tuned. But nothing really about algorithmic changes, but more like general workflow changes. So, and there might be something more to be done now. Yeah, but basically what I did was I implemented a complete CLI tool, and how this works we can look in a bit. We can look that up in a bit, but we are almost ready to publish this. Exciting. So you can also test this code on your machines with 2 lines or so. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, but let's just simply go and take care of the issues. So there was something like a node ID to forces, yeah? Being blind. Blind. So node ID to forces, yeah. So this is this one. And this is MPC dependent. Okay, so if I have access to an MPC, I can get that, right? So I can get something. There is nothing here, yeah? But I could do something. Node. Yeah, it was already there, right? No. Why should I... Wait a second. Wait a second. So this is the problem. I don't have it, right? So here I should have something like node ID to forces. And I thought that I could get that from the MPC. Yes, I can get that. All right, let's check that. I don't have task run. So, and yeah, as always, if there are any specific questions, if it's something regarding Python, if it's something regarding Hypermesh, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy then to go out and just deal something else. So MPC is MPC element. Sorry. To part to forces. Yeah, so MPC should be an MPC element, right? Yeah, it has that. So more. All right, MPC get node to ID forces. So this is the method I'm looking for. Maybe not. Ah, it's the only one. I think I lost. Node ID to... Okay, here. Oh, okay. Yeah, you see, I think this thing should be something which is a variable. This is a... and by the way, why are we doing that? Why are we doing that for every MPC? That doesn't make any sense. So let's cut that here and let's go into the init and let's make it like this, right? Because we have a MPC file path. So why not do the reader here once and for all? Because then we can go and just have that as self dot, and we don't have any problems with it. That makes more sense. That makes more sense, a lot more sense. So we don't have to get it here anymore, but we can have it just by taking it from the class variable. So is there still something wrong? Yeah, we will see about that. Okay, so it worked. Now let's check the output. Flange should now have in the summary also the 500 newtons here. To be honest, I don't think I would like to have that in a separate line. Yeah, but let's just make it like this. No, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. Let's do it like, if it has that, then it should do something, and if it has not that, sorry, else we do exactly this. So either we are doing this or we are doing this. So yeah, here the f string and then the variable forces, and don't have that. So that makes more sense to me. And I think we should do that the same for here and also for the upper one, where we have something like a similar thing. Where was it here? So it was here to here. Like that. Okay, let's test it again. Alright, now let's see how it looks like. Summary. Yeah, okay. That's also not good. That's also not too good. The one I would want to change is something like this. Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay, with that, I think we can say that's alright. Let's check the linting and the testing as always. And then I will give a brief overview about the changes. Okay. Too many branches. Force extractor. Yeah, basically, to be honest, I already assumed that this is a bit of a problem. Too many branches. But let me just quickly see. So in write summary, yeah, it's that one, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You see, the thing is, that should be our own class. That should be put into a separate class who deals with that. Because right now, we don't really have stuff like that. There's this giant with open file as file, and then we have a giant block. So, mm, yeah, I'm a bit cautious about how to handle this, because basically this should be a separate class, right? And to be honest, this is a bit of a hurdle. So let's just cut that and make a class out of it. But maybe not in this file. Oh man, that's so... To be honest, I would like to care about this later, but for now I'm not really wanting to deal with that. So what I'm doing is, for now, I will just have something like a temporary workaround to have that be able to be committed. But I know I have to do this. So basically, I will be doing this a couple of days. Maybe not today, but this is definitely on my list to restructure this whole forces extractor Python file and have it its own class, because it cannot be all in the MPC force extractor class. So this class is too overloaded. Therefore, I will do something like, yeah, the linting has to have something like an ignore. I think that's the easiest way. Ignore just the branch thing and then do the linting again. It will work. I think we could also increase the branch size, the maximum branch sizes which we allow. That could also be possible. But for right now, this is perfectly fine for me. Alright, so let's do this. Let's commit it. That would be the basic MPC output. Well, MPC master node force output. implementation. Right, so we have that. Let's hope and pray for the best that it works to be committable. Then we will merge that, make sure that we have the other issues settled. And in doing those other issues, maybe I should also mention that. Yeah, okay. What's not working? The testing has failed. Oh, interesting. Yeah, interesting. Wait a second. Is this linting? Module TCL visualize. Oh, okay. Why the hell does it? Okay. Self part ID to connected element IDs, blah 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 blah, can be simplified to not. Is it testing my test classes? No. So 58 self part blah 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 equals blah 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 can be simplified to not. Hey, to be honest, that is testing. Okay, let's check that. Where is that coming from? I mean, I know where it's coming from, but I'd like to have a one-click solution. So we can do something like this, and it should be the same. So let's do the task test again and see if it works. Testing should be not a problem. Oh. Oh, interesting. MPForce reader. Ah, I see. File not found because the read lines. Interesting. Okay, let's see why this is making it a problem. So we could adapt the test force, the test files. So the read lines method does not work. But actually, to be honest, that should be patched normally. That should be patched normally. So 2 failed. And we have both the same failure, I think. File not found. Okay, let's check that. So test force extractor. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, yeah, sure that it doesn't work. Yeah, then I think we have to do something like, how was that again? Something like so. I have to look that up. That's maybe in the test model reader. I think I used it a ton. Now, yeah, okay, it's patch and then with braces. Alright, so let's just copy it here, but this will be wrong. So basically, I should go to the MPC. Where is it failing? Here, reader, MPC forces reader. Reader, MPC forces reader. And now the class, I think. So I would have this class because this is a private method. You have to be a little bit careful here. So it's that, and then I think it's underscore the class again, and then read lines. Read lines. But basically it's also having to have that replaced, right? Huh, interesting. How the hell did that work? With my other machine that worked. And this doesn't work too? What's that a problem? Do we have to... Let's see, do we have to import something with patch? Yeah. From the mocking library. or package. Okay, so we have that. So that would be mock read lines MPC, but we for sure need also the mock read lines FEM. So basically, I think we need something like exactly what we have here, right? Not sure why not. Because if we have a MPC reader, then I think the problem is that I shifted it to the. I shifted this to here. Maybe that was not so good. Maybe I should have done it like this, that we have here an empty dictionary, and just Summit, I will explain it in a bit. Let me just quickly get through this, then I will talk to you about what this really is and give a short overview. Get part ID to node IDs. Well, basically in get MPC forces, that makes sense. Because here it's not really needed. Here it's needed. So here self node ID to forces ID forces is that. I think that makes more sense, and I think then I could also get away with my testing. Let's see. Not really. Found error. Well, I'm getting away somewhere. So the extract forces, the one which I would think of that I'm not getting away with it. Yeah. No, that makes no sense. Okay, extract forces. So we definitely need the mocks, right? So there's no way we're getting around this. Let's also patch it here, but because my stomach feelings tells me that this maybe solved it already. But I could also be totally wrong here. No, I'm wrong. So non-type. Yeah, okay. So the thing is, I would have something like a return type. Okay, that totally makes sense. So the read lines should return value this and also this. So this would be the minimalistic approach. I know the testing here sucks. It should be a lot better, but for now, it's just a simple thing. It's still a non-type. Okay, we have to get a little bit. So test force extractor. Yeah, so here. The get MPC forces block size, blah blah blah. So here in this method it's failing, and this is exactly this one, and this is exactly this one, read lines. So the MPC forces reader. But this should have been patched, right? So the MPC forces reader is patched. And then let's just have something like a string here. But normally I would have thought that an empty list is also okay. Because we have patched it, we have patched both of them. And the MPC one has a return value, but it's complaining about this as it's being none. The file content is none. But return value of the patched method there's something wrong here. Okay, rabbit hole. All right, so to the ones who are looking here and seeing that maniac code for the first time. So basically, what I'm doing with that is I'm building a library which can automatically show you what the RBE2 and RBE3 elements transfer forces. So how much they transfer forces. The use case for this scenario is that you have something like a bolted connection or something with many rigid elements, and you don't know which rigid element transfer how much of the load you apply to it. So basically that's the use case. I've seen that use case, and the only way which you could go around with that is by modeling the screw or bolt directly with a more complicated approach, right? So what we're looking here at is a simple model of a flange. And this flange model has 3 bolted connections where it transfers the load. Normally it would be an application for transfer moment and stuff like that. So not really tension and compression. But I think in our test scenario, we have tested it with just a tension case, right? So this is basically our testing case. So just imagine flange, 2 parts, 3 bolted connections, and yeah, I'll show you the hypermesh model in a minute. It's just loading up. And then you apply, also with an RBE3 element, you apply some loads to it. And yeah, then you want to see how much load is being transferred. So this is the model, yeah, two parts. 1 RBE here, then 3 RBEs around the circle here, right? And the output of this tool is now the following. So if I put it in like so, you will get something like a summary out. And this then has rigid element IDs. So rigid element ID 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it has some data about it. So it automatically detects the parts which are connected to it, then sums up all the MPC forces. So that would be the forces per node which is connected to the RBE to one force vector. So you know the first of those RBE 2 elements which are holding those flange parts together transfers 167 newtons. Next one 165, next one 167. So it's pretty equally loaded. And that also reflects the use case here, because if you just look at the model, the load case is just a straight pulling of the force. Yeah, it will be transferred over to all the nodes on this surface, but it's a straight line, straight force, straight vector. Nothing complicated. But if you have something like with a bending cases, you know, with contact and whatnot, then it will get a little bit difficult or more difficult. Yeah. And so for this use scenario, I would say this tool is being developed by myself, and yeah, and not for a simple model like this, but a model with 100 and 200 of bolts, where you don't want to do this manually. So that's it. And what I'm doing right now is I added something that you could have the force here. Also with the master node ID, if a master node ID has a force. And that's basically what I've been building. And now the testing goes mad at me because I changed something, how certain variables are being filled. And with my test scenarios, it's not working anymore. So the test force extractor doesn't work anymore because obviously, yeah, it's just not working. So wait a second here. I think I can delete all this because for here it would not be necessary. So then we can fully concentrate on here. If we have multiple patches, let's just check that we have that. This is the test forces extractor. Let's go and change the launch configuration in Visual Studio Code to not being running this, but another thing which we define. Yeah, does it work? Yeah, so MPC forces, and then where is it at? This should be, yeah, should be exactly on the same level. So test force extractor. Because then I can be here in the test force extractor and press F5. And now if I would have something like a breakpoint, it would work. But it didn't. Ah, okay, sorry, no, we do need something else. We need something like this, because otherwise the main method will not exist. So we're here, now we could step through here, right? So we have something like a return value. And now there will be an interesting thing. So there should be not be a problem until here. Oh, this is a bad one. But okay. And now let's go into this model. Yeah, so get MPC forces. And now again into this line. And now we have this thing, and here's the problem. So this read line, let's go into here. Do we now have a problem? Yes. Attribute error. Type object element has no object. Huh? I think that is, we can remove that. No, we don't have a problem right now. So let's go into that. Now the file content. Yeah, the file content is not being set correctly. Why not? I think that has to do with the readlines method. Yeah, that's correct. That is the problem. All right, I know how to fix this. So we could say something like this. We return something here, and we return a list. A list of string, if that's possible. I'm not sure 100%, but let's also add here a list to the typing that this is working. So we return a list. What do we read? What do we return? We return file.readlines. So we return the stuff that we put then into the file content. So self file content equals self readlines. Now, if I specify with the mocking, if I specify that readlines returns a list which is empty or has some value in it, then this will get transferred here, and then the method down here will not have a problem because self content was not available. Right? So a little change in how this is being done should resolve it. Now this is bad practice. I should always return something. So if there's no path here, then I think I could return an empty list. That should be okay. All right, are we feeling lucky? Then I will do task test. And if we don't, okay, we are lucky. Now this worked. The launch JSON we don't want to commit. This I think we should commit. The test forces for sure we should commit. And this thing for sure. And the TCL visualize, what do we change here? This was the problem with the linter, yeah, okay. So I think now it should work. We can commit that, and if it's now committed, then we can turn to the issues and see what else we should have. All right, so that worked. Okay. So wait a second, I will just go into the GitHub. So this would be that. And what we were currently working on is the think about the RB master node not being summed up. No message. Is this a bug? Okay, so I think this is now being done. Now we can do the pull request. Okay, let's create that one. Let's assign ourselves. Label would be, I think, an enhancement. Then let's also add a new milestone, because now I'm working towards a release 0.1 and all those fancy stuff here. This is now being, that's now new. That's new. That's really new. I like it pretty much because, yeah, this is now some GitHub actions which are being done. And you can see there's many of them. You have something like tests with the pull request. You have tests with push. Not sure what this pull request or push should do if it's doing the pull request and the push separately. I'm not sure why. But basically what this is doing is it's all conducting the same GitHub action. And the GitHub action is conducting several instances of it, but not all are being conducted because some of them, for example, here the test publish, test install, and the publish, I'm not sure why this is called Yeah, there should be test install and there should be publish at the end. Ah, yeah, here. So those are being just executed in a case where we have a version. So that means if I'm doing a release, like a version 0.1, then this will be done. Because look what we got here. You all know PyPy, right? So if we now search for MPC forces, you will see there is a version here, right? So you could do, so basically that's just an alpha version, but if you do on your machine the pip install MPC forces extractor, yeah, you can then install that program on your machines and work with that. And basically that's the plan for the future, to have a simple way of doing that, because yeah, I have a method for it, but what we can do then is the following. Let's do maybe just let's just try that. Yeah, let's just try that. If I just do that here, pip install MPC forces-Extractor. Yeah, I have that now. And if I'm now doing MPC forces-Extractor, sorry, cannot write my own program. It cannot find it. Why? MPC forces-Extractor. Do I need to also put in the version? I don't think so. So normally what I should now be what now should be possible to do is the command I defined in the pipe project toml. So if I would add this command, this should be recognized. This should be recognized, but it's not being recognized. Huh? I don't know why. Well, maybe test that another day. But let me just quickly see if it's something with that. No, it's not working. Oh man, I thought it would be working again. Before. Wait a second. Well, for sure it cannot be an executable. Wait a second. Is it like this? Python -m and then the tool? No. No, that doesn't make any sense. Huh. I'm not sure why. Sorry. Normally this should be possible, but I think it's not because something got messed up. But in the end, so wait a couple of days, maybe weeks, and then there will be a 0.1 version out, and then we can do stuff like that, right? So that's basically the plan. Now, what is here? Yeah, okay, so this can be reverted. I think that's not really important anymore. Yeah. Still can't figure out why this is not working. Man, that would be so great. No. All right. Yeah. Well, but you can install it and you can use that then for sure as a Python import. But it should also be a little bit better. Let me just quickly, because I think it's easily fixable. Hopefully. Let's look in my Python course and see. It should be in the CLI. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, you see, DevStar Fire Laser. I'm not sure why it's not working. Poetry build should allow us to do this. And this is also the thing I changed. Yeah. Yeah. So MPC forces-Extractor CLI main and then app. I'm not sure why it's not working. Maybe now pip and poetry are fighting each other. Or maybe something like something with the version, but it says here that it's building the extractor, yeah, MPCforces-Extractor. So for me, I would say that this should work, but it's not working. All right. Well, let me show you what it should be doing. It should be doing something like this. It should create this the CLI interface, and the CLI interface has commands registered to it. It has one register, which is the command called extract, and there you can just specify like the input path for the FEM file, the input path for the MPC file, the output path, and the block size is optional. Yeah, and then it will just run that what we have been running here since a couple of weeks. So basically that's that. Yeah. So this is an easy, great way to just have this program launched. Yeah. Okay. We're now here, but that should not be. Maybe it's that. It still has the HyperWorks tool thing here, and this is. I'm not sure why this is being still called HyperWorks tools, because that's now MPCforces-Extractor. Yeah, I renamed it, right? So if we look here, I thought it would not be fit. It would not be a great fit to call this HyperWorks tools. So it's just a program about the MPCforces-Extractor. Let's see if I can fix that. Rename repo. And GitHub is not a problem. The problem is then, yeah, this one. But I thought I did that already. Huh? Didn't I do that? Well, let's make first things first. Let's close our issue. We have done the pull request. I think there's not much really to be done here. It should be an easy pull request. So it has just a little output, which is done. The tests are not working. This has to be an issue later. Yeah, that's correct. But otherwise, it's basic stuff. What's that? Yeah, the log file. Yeah, okay. But that's okay. I think we can commands. We can merge this pull request. And do that. Merge pull request. Confirm. Delete branch. Now we have the slate clean again. Let's go back to the development branch. And let's pull. And then let's do the thing here with the renaming. I thought I would have done that already, but somehow maybe the folder names are still the same, and I think it will just be that, right? I mean, I could also do something a little bit more drastic and just delete the repository locally and clone it again. That could also be something. Yeah, but let's try to do it the nice and easy way first. So I will just copy the renaming suggestion, which is I think I closed that. Here it is. Okay, so basically it's this command here, and then the new URL should be the one from here. All right, so this one, bam. And then let's maybe also rename it here. Is it possible? I think it is. But yeah, I'm not sure if there's something like if the fetch would. No, this does not work. You know what? I will just do the following. I will just close Visual Studio Code, then open my GitHub folder and rename the folder. Then open Visual Studio Code again. Now can I do that anymore? Wait a second, I will just do the opening here. Now we're here. Okay. Let's see if it's still working. So it reactivates the terminals. Maybe it also has to get the virtual environment going once more. I'm not sure what maybe there's with paths and stuff like that. But now let's just try that once more. So poetry build. Huh. What? Poetry build does not exist. Bullet, yeah, okay. I think I also have a task build. Yeah, let's see what's task build doing. Yeah, it has just poetry build. Yeah, okay, but now MPC forces extractor. Because I tried that and it worked. And I'm not sure why it's not working here. Die Benennung wurde nicht als Namen eines CMD, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so basically what it's saying, it doesn't know the command. Yeah. It's a pity. It's a pity. Would be fun to have that. But maybe what I'm also missing here, I think, is a task CLI. Because that's not doing anything for right now. Yeah. Okay, let's check if it's working at all with the CLI. So poetry poetry run Python -m, and then let's do the MPC forces tools. MPC forces extractor, sorry. .cli. Right? Yeah, so this is working. And also let's make that a task command, because I don't want to put that all into the terminal every time. So let's do register a command called CLI. Poetry run Python -m MPCforces-Extractor.cli. So task CLI should do the same thing. No? Failed to run task. MPCforces-Extractor.cli. This worked. Poetry run Python -m, and then, you know what, I just copy that. I don't see it right now, but maybe there is something wrong. Okay, some was wrong. Alright, so minor syntax error maybe. Would you work on deep learning models or transformers in the future? Well, that means what you mean by transformers. If you... never say never, but I would say for an individual user like myself, doing transformers, like large language model transformers, is just hopeless. I mean, I don't have the resources for it. I mean, you could do something like, what's his name? There's this one guy, Andrei Karpathy or something, ex-Tesla, now at OpenAI? Or ex-Open? No, he was at Tesla. I'm not sure where he is now. But he has some brilliant, really brilliant videos on transformers. And I think he has something where he codes like a simpler GPT 3.5 or so from scratch. And that's pretty amazing. But it is quite the dive. I've um I've done maybe the first 3 videos or so and coded it alongside. But at some point I was missing out, and I would have to do some more research about it. Not 100% sure where it was. But large language model transformers, I'm not sure if I'm doing that anytime soon. I don't think so, but maybe in a generalized matter, transformers could be interesting for certain tasks. So I would not exclude it. For this tool, I think it's not necessary. For this tool, it's just basic Python. Well, I mean, there's a bit of machine learning in there with KD trees and neighbor detection and stuff like that. So this is basically, yeah, bread and butter for machine learning engineers. But it's not deep learning. So there's no neural nets. But I mean, I think the applications for neural nets in FEA are quite good, quite broad. And so therefore, I'm not sure where I'm taking this or where this takes me, to be honest. So it could be that we're also doing something like yeah, shape recognition and maybe some also similarity mappings. So it's all pretty interesting. So the problem is time. If I could do that full time, I would not worry about salary. That's something different, but that's not possible. So I have limited time to spend. And so this is a tool I think I can also use in everyday life and may also add some benefit to others. So this is why I'm doing that. And this is a basic thing. But on the other hand, I think in this tool, there's so much in here regarding good software development and maybe also bad software development. But basically, it's just so much more than your simple batch script. Machine learning models are used in industry. Yeah, sure. And not deep learning models. Well, no. Both are used, but both, I would say the models are used for different type of things. It really depends where you are. If you're looking at the mechanical engineering industry, it's so I would say a typical normal mechanical engineer does not have too much to do with deep learning. Maybe he uses ChatGPT to get some initial thoughts and ideas and some verifications and stuff. And then there's maybe specialized people who are working with deep learning solutions. For example, to get knowledge from data or something like predictive maintenance. That's something where you apply like a little sensor on your product, and if it detects some how would you call it, some behavior, some data which is not in the norm, not something your trained model on good running products would ever produce. Just think about something when a wheel has something like a crack, or the vibration will just be different, and so you can detect something like that and say to the user, well, hey, do you have a problem with your wheel? So basically this is some deep learning solutions, or maybe also big data and analyzing all the huge model files we have and getting knowledge from that. That's also something which happens. But I would say that the people, or the amount of people which are dealing with those kind of problems, is pretty small. First, they are just to be found in big corporations where you have lots of data and we can make use of that. And secondly, you have to be a little bit specialized in software development. If you aren't, it will be pretty difficult, I would say. It's possible, but you would have to do a long studies, and you have to have the money for it. So it's also something like a management problem. So management trying to decide how much they want to spend on certain tasks. So you might also go into those kind of barriers. Small companies usually don't have the data and also don't have the money for that. So that's not an option. But so it depends on industry, and then it depends on which company, and yeah. But the people are there, and machine learning is quite. It's a little bit a broader term, and often something like a simple clustering approach is also machine learning for sure. And this is being used for different kind of things. Let me give you a simple example. Altair itself, the hypermesh product developer, they have something like a similarity tool which detects similar parts in a model. And the way they're doing that, at least to my knowledge, is by checking the moments of inertia and the higher moments of a part. So if they just have a rough mesh of a part, they can do some higher moment analysis. And this will give them an n-dimensional vector, which stands for a similarity of a part. So that means they can look at other parts, and if they have the same dimension vectors in this case, they will be recognized as the same thing. Typical use case for that would be screws. Screws, like find me the same screws in my model, all M4s or all M8s or all adapters which are shaped like this. Yeah, it's not really a correlation matrix. No. It's a little bit more complex. So how should I describe that? So you know moments of inertia, right? As a mechanical engineer, you know moments of inertia. And moments of inertia, I think, is the second of the higher moments. You can construct even higher moments. And yeah, there's the resistant moments. I think this is the order 3 or so. And then you have even higher moments than that. So it's a mathematical description of properties of a part. And if you have a part and you describe the first 10 higher moments of this part, and you can compare that, those 10 higher moments will be the same whether you have that part rotated or not, moved or not. It will be the same. It's like an invariant property of the part. Something like the stress tensor, right? It doesn't make any difference if you're just pushing the element to the side, turning it. The stress tensor and its invariance will be the same. Well, not the stress tensor. I have to be careful here. Yeah, so the invariance, right? The invariance of the stress tensor. For example, the von Mises stress. Yeah, it's an invariant. Yeah, so basically you have the higher moments, and these higher moments, those are like vectors, I think. Yeah. I think if you have the 10 higher moments of a part, you have a 10-dimensional point. Because of the first vector, you have the first moment, second moment, third moment, and so on, right? So you have 10 moments, and this is a vector. Now, a part which is pretty similar, but not exactly similar to it, will have a very short distance to this point, to this 10-dimensional point. And the more dimensions, the more precise you can get. But to have that a little bit more easy to grasp, I think that I saw a demo. This doesn't make sense. Match parts. Yeah, we can even try that out. Yeah. Let me check that. So basically what we have here are now here completely perfectly similar parts, which are just rotated and turned. So there should be something like match. Hmm. Okay, those are the same parts. So that doesn't make any sense. But you see this shape AI encoding, right? So this shape AI encoding is like a buzzword for having higher moments as a 10-dimensional vector. So which machine model would be good for such 10-dimensional data? Yeah, basically, and now it's getting interesting. We even covered the one for it. You see, the KD tree is perfect for such things. Because it has a very easy way to get the neighbors. So if you just say you want to have the next 30 neighbors or so from a part, it would get that. So a KD tree would be an implementation which could work. It's not the best one. I think the obvious one is something like a KD tree. What I'm saying at k-means clustering. So k-means clustering, because you have a clustering problem. Just think of you having a 10 dimension space and you have points in it. And what you want to have is like clusters of data, because clusters means those are the same parts. Right? Same parts means very small distances to each other. Right? So this is exactly what this space, what you're building, is representing. It's not something which represents spatial coordinates. It's representing similarity along each dimension, along each moment. And if you have the point which is in this 10 dimensions, if the point is lying on top of each other, that means they're perfectly similar. And yeah, so basically k-means clustering or something like another clustering method, because with the k-means you have the disadvantage that you would have to specify the number of clusters you want to get. Could also be something like a very easy threshold parameter where you say, okay, if certain points are within a distance lower than a threshold value, then those are considered as the same parts. And so it's even a simpler form of clustering. But there are other clustering methods out there. I think, how is it called? I have to look it up. Wait a second. Because I used that also on my PhD thesis. There's k-means, but there's also dbScan. That's a density-based clustering method. And I think there's also another one, but I think I did not use that. Yeah, basically, if I would have to do that, I would go for dbScan algorithm. Because the thing is, with the dbScan, you don't have to specify the number of clusters you expect. So that would be definitely a big up for that, right? That would be a big plus. Yeah, I have had that problem many times in my PhD thesis. What to do, what to specify for K. Yeah. Can you use principal component analysis before feeding that data to k-means clustering? Would that increase performance? It could, but it's not certain. The thing is with principal component analysis is that it only works if you have something you can strip away. But it's not, you have to check that first. If there is a principal axis where data is lying on. If that's the case, yeah, it would definitely speed up performance. But basically, I would say performance is not an issue here. Just think of, you have to do the following. For parts, how many parts are there? Maybe 10, maybe 100, maybe 1,000 parts. If it's more than 1,000 parts, I would say it's pretty big. Now you have 1,000 parts and you have 10 dimensions and you have points there, and you have to do clustering for 1,000 points. That's just nothing. That's not something you would worry about performance. Yeah. But if you worry about performance, then maybe the KD tree and then a threshold approach would be even better. Because KD tree with, I would say, an almost infinite number of dimensions can give you a very fast and efficient data structure for finding the K nearest neighbors. Then you just do the following. You have the part, and then you say, okay, give me the next 100 neighbors. And for all of those neighbors, you calculate the distance, and that's a very easy calculation. And then you say if the threshold, if the distance is below a threshold, you say that's the same part. So that's pretty easy. That shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, but principal component analysis is a pretty good thing also to study. That's definitely not a bad thing to have in your pocket. All right, so we have now done the CLI as a task. And I'm wondering if there's something wrong with me registering the script here. But normally, I would say this should have worked. So the MPC forces extractor should have worked. But it doesn't. I'm not sure why it doesn't. But maybe it's because of the virtual environment and stuff like that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this. Okay, let's go back to the Python GitHub repository. Where is it? Here. All right, so we have now CLI, right? This is pretty cool, and I thought it would be also great to have a separate command for just visualizing the parts. Basically, that's also pretty awesome. I did not show that until now. So, but what I have now here is for the data output flange, for example, there's this folder called TCL visualization. And this, you have this command TCL, and if you copy all that, and we just assume that we would have something like this, but we don't know anything about this part, so let's just assume that all the elements are in just one component. And let's name that differently as part, because that's a problem, and let's delete the part. So if I'm now pasting this command into the thing here, you see that it will get divided into two parts. And obviously the pentas did not work, right? Interesting. Maybe there's something to debug here. That's maybe possible. C penta, yeah. The C pentas. Yeah, and I know why. Maybe I know why. But this visualization is also a thing here, which is pretty cool. Now I thought it would be good to have this as a standalone method. But let's not just quickly check why this thing did not work with the model. Now, flange. Let's go into flange. Let's check for the input data. I'm almost certain I know what it is. So we have the C hexas, right? And I'm betting that C penta starts with a double command line. Yes. This is the problem. Okay, I have done a mistake in my refactoring. I did ask for it to start with a double command and said that this would be the end of the elements. And this is not the case. Yeah, how should I do that? To be honest, I'm not sure. Maybe with the MPC data, yeah, but I would say I will remove this because it doesn't. Now the problem is that it detects something like this as the end of the file, and there's also little to be gained. There's little to be gained. Yeah, there's little to be gained to do this. Yeah, okay, so I have to do some critical bug fix here now. It is in the model reader. And when I'm doing the elements, that should be blah 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 blah. Create entities, that's there. The problem is exactly here. Yeah, let's just get rid of it. Yeah. Let's run it again. Let's put all the elements back into the basket. All elements goes back here. We delete those. And we look again at the visualizer, data, output, flange, commands. And let's see if the pandas are now working or not. Yeah, okay, that's good. All right, so this is done. Now, the next thing to do this as a separate thing. Let's first do something like here, add CLI as task. And, oh. Pre-commit not found. Did you forget to activate virtual env? Uh-huh. Uh-huh, right. Okay. Hmm? Pre-commit not found. Huh? Is there? So select interpreter. I have selected the poetry one. Hmm. Let's do a poetry update to be sure. Ah, fatal error. Unable to create process using. Yeah. Yeah, because it's not poetry. The path is wrong. Okay. Not good. Let's just delete the venv. Yeah, I'm not sure if I should do that, but normally it should not be a problem. Lib script. Yeah, I have to do that with this here. Huh? Okay, let's close this window. I have to do this in the file explorer. Wait a second. The venv has to go. Okay, now open Visual Studio Code again. And now let's do the poetry install again. Yeah, that makes more sense. I think then also this thing should work. No. Yeah. Maybe this was also the problem with the thing before, right? That could be it. And also make sure that we have the correct interpreter. Should be that, yeah. But yeah, so this terminal, I always am a bit confused why this is base, but I'm not sure why this is not working. So this exit doesn't work for sure. This closes the terminal. Yeah, come on. What is this? I mean, why the hell does it not work? So show command output. Git c user blah 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 blah. Pre-commit not found. Did you forget to activate your virtual env? So heh. Okay, I'm not getting that one. So let's go back to my normal terminal. Let's just do a task run. See, this works, right? So poetry run works. Not a problem. Then pipe project Tommel has also nothing in it with what I would say is something sketchy. Let me Google that one. That's a little bit strange. I have to rerun pre-commit install. Okay, let's do that. That doesn't work. Let's do task install, because in task install, I think there is the pre-commit install in there, right? Let's see. Task install, poetry install, and then poetry run pre-commit install. Yeah, this is it. This is it. Yeah. Good. All right. So now the commit should work. Hopefully. So add CLE as task. That's one thing. And then we have another thing, which is a bug fix. So I would say it's a critical bug fix. Bug fix. Change model reader and element read in break. So this was pretty crucial that we have that fixed. You know, the thing what it was is there is something like a great efficiency bonus to be gained from just knowing when to import yeah, elements and stuff like that. You're not just, if you have your giant FEM file and then you would just have to, you would just like to read in the FEM, the element blocks, and then be done with it and then just exit out of it. And then also know where the forces begin. Otherwise you just have to loop over the file once, twice, 3 times. That's not a good thing to do, but yeah, still sometimes you just have to. I think this is now the easy one. I mean, there's an easy fix to that. Just scroll once through through all the lines, and then just remember the positions where you last seen a element line, and then put the markers there. That's the easy solution. Then you would have to run through there once and twice for importing, but not multiple times. Yeah. So, but yeah, for right now, the running times is okay, so I can also neglect that. Okay, so we have that. Now, let's see. Updated documentation is the stuff which definitely has to happen. And here add a separate command to just output the TCL code for visualization. Yeah, I think the next one is this. This should be the next one. So I will create a branch for it. Then I will do a fetch for this. Then I will change the branch to be this newly created branch. And now we can get working. New command in the CLI means I would have to create a new Python file in that. So maybe here, let's make something like visualize. Let's also just copy everything from here to here. Let's change it. So this is a visualize command. So extractor command is not there anymore. It's now called a visualize command, and that's here visualize. So what would you need for visualize? You would need the FEM file. You don't need the MPC file. You need an output file, yes, and you need a block size. That's that. Okay, you don't need these things. Now, I don't want to use MPC Forces class, but I would have something like this, right? So we need something like write TCL visualize lines. So here now comes the thing where I also said that I would take care of this huge thing called force extractor and divide that into different classes. So we have that MPC forces extractor write TCL vis lines. Why is that there? Right? That should be here, I would say. So if I just look here and see the write whatever here, what does it do? It creates this thing. Basically those two things. I think that even could be in the main, but I'm not sure if I would like to put that into the main. But basically here's nothing much. Right? It's nothing much. So let's just... So I don't want this here. Now, if I have the force extractor, I would call that from the main, right? I'm not sure if I should put that here. It also does not make too much sense. But on the other hand, for right now, I will put it there. So we have everything we need. The only other thing is this here. I think this thing can be found here. Right? So you could say this is the visualization. Yeah. So this also should be then more or less the content of my newly found visualize command. Right, so it would be that. So, sorry. So we have an output path. Yeah, it's not output folder, but output path. Okay, that's output path. Then we need something different. Yeah, so we have that. And now this thing is the this thing is the complicated part. So this part to connected node IDs. This has to be done by ourselves. Yeah. Here, not sure what to do here, but let's see where this comes from, right? So it's usually done here in the force extractor. Part ID to connected node ID. So here here it is. And here it is again. So we have here this method self get part ID to connected node IDs graph. So there's the method. And to be honest, this has nothing to search or to be in the force extractor. Why is it there? So it needs a graph, but honestly, why? No. This could be in the entities, right? Because now just think of it, the graph is the only instance which is being used. So let's get rid of that. I know this now will lead to major problems here, but I think it should be in the entities. So let's go in data structure entities and put it into, there should be Yeah, it should be in the class element. There's maybe also a point to argue that it should have its own class. Maybe in the future. Now we can get rid of the graph here, because the graph should be easy. Just to be sure, I do a copy. Yeah, so basically that's that. Now some more times import time. But basically that's that. Now we have that here. Okay, that's pretty sweet. That means if I would have to do this, I could do something like element and then get, yeah, and we don't have a graph. Yeah, we need, for sure, we need the element. But that would be that. Element. Now the only thing I have here as an issue. Okay, the only thing which I have an issue is that there's no elements. There's no elements. We need a FEM model reader, right? Because let's think of it. So in the force reader, a force extractor, before, and I also have to do this here. There's a problem here now with this thing here. This is a problem because this is not longer there anymore. But it's easy, as we can just do element dot, yeah, something like this. I cannot write element. So, and we don't need this. But before that, there must happen something like this here. Reader entities. Yeah. Not sure if I need it all, but I need some of it. So let's go back to my visualize and put it in here. Why doesn't it move forward? Okay, doesn't matter. Let's do it like this. Now, I would just have something like a... No, I don't need that at all. I need a reader, which is the FEM file reader. That has the block size. Isn't the block size something like... Yeah, yeah. Naming conventions. Okay, we have the reader. And then we have reader, create entities. We don't need that thing. Yeah, I think that's okay. Now let's import also the FEM file reader. We have the FEM file path, so that would be input path FEM. So that's that. So we read in the FEM file. No, that's not right. Right, so that would be that. Oh man, I cannot wait for the linter. The linter will just punch me in the face. 100%, yeah. First of all, formatting. Then let's do linting. Whoa. Imported but not used. That's something which is a little bit easier. Okay, let's do that again. Okay, 2 times. It's not something which is too big. Alright, so no value for argument self. What? What? Oh, this is a static method, right? Yeah. And then we don't need the self because there's no self in here, right? Release the self. Oh, we have another one. Main instance of MPC has no write TCL with lines. Ah, yeah, that's right. Where did I put that? Main, right? So it's not in the. I'm doing that below that. Okay, yeah. So that should not be a problem. Okay, now do the testing. Oh man, it's always the same. It's always the same. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Need somebody to... Okay, where it is. Oh, too much. Yeah, but this is not too bad. So I think that if the testing worked, well, I'm not really testing the visualization lines, to be honest. This is not being tested right now. But let's just test it manually, right? I would just like to test this manually. And the way I'm gonna test this is I'm trying again with the poetry build method. If I want to have that working, because that's just a little bit easier. Ah! Is it because I have to do the extractor? No. Would be a shame. Yeah. Normally I would have said it's just this method, but no. Okay. Forget it. Forget it. Now we have this task CLI, right? And now comes an interesting point. There is a way of adding or using the arguments from here. I'm not sure how to do this one. Okay, so the task CLI is pretty useless right now. Because the command is called extract, but I'm pretty sure this does not work. Yeah. Task extract does not work. But there is something how you could use that. Task file use args. Yeah. Pass verbals, yeah. Yeah, there is something like variables. Yeah, but we're not doing that. Yeah, okay. So maybe another one. Yeah, so let's just test it now. It doesn't even have the visualize command, so there's still something to do for me. So we have to visualize here, but in the main, there is also app add typer. Yeah, visualize command, because otherwise it would not work. Okay, so now the command line interface now should also have both commands. Right? Okay. Okay, and the help is just awful. So this is okay, but visualizes the connected parts of the model by moving them into separate components. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, now Python -m MPCforces_extractor .cli. That should do the same. It doesn't. Ah. Hey, what is this? Somehow. Okay. Well. Poetry run. This works, right? Yeah. Now we need the visualize command. And we need now 2 paths. We need data input flange path. Copy path. Okay, we have the path. And we would now have something like an output. Let's do just something like output test. Yeah, because it's created anyway. This will not work. 100% not. Because I think backslash and double backslash will not be read in. But let's try it. Yeah. No such command visualize. Oh, visualize. I did a mistake. So the name should be visualize. Yeah, I think that's all. But still, I think it will not work because there's a path. I think you either have to use... No way. It works? Okay, let's see. So in data, output, how's it called? Output test. Test. Huh. Huh. Not bad. Let's see if it does the same thing. Can I control? Oh, can I control set out of that? No. Yeah, works. Nice. That's good. So that's basic implementation, I would say. Let's see if the linter has something to tell us. But I think maybe it works. Maybe it works. Can always go 2 ways. Ah, okay. Okay, let's do the thing. Task format. Okay, let's try it again. Oh no. Abort. So I think there should be... I think I should set the format also to black again. Back to black. Yeah, it's black. Well, okay. It still has something like visualize. Yeah, that's important, right? Standard import should be placed before typer. Okay. Where is it? Visualize. Okay. And you know the theme song from Dr. House? That's just playing on the Spotify jam. Pretty nice tune. Alright, so this worked. so I can sync it. Good. All right, so I think also this can be just merged. It's not really something critical. I did not change the functionality too much, but to be honest, we still didn't clean up the mess. Okay, we have to do that. So clean up the mess, I mean the forces extractor. Where is that? Force extractor, yeah. So here, this mess with the right summary. That is just a mess. Okay, so let's do that maybe a little bit differently. So we to not break any changes, we would say the def right summary should still be in place. But we will now have something like a class summary writer, right? And this whatever this does, and then we have something like an init. What should that have? It should have so the output folder should be something. Yeah, so that makes sense. What else? I think that's that. And the other one, I think, which makes sense, is the instance, which would be the MPCforces-Extractor. Yeah. And then we have just, yeah. Not sure why this should be a thing. Okay. Now let's shift it. So we definitely have also something like a right summary here. And the MPC element to part forces dict. No, yeah. Yeah. Isn't that something? Where does this come from? I would swear this would have be. Okay, it's not from here. Okay, so let's just have it here. It's okay. This has this, and now let's say, okay, should we have that really? No, we shouldn't. Okay, now let's see what we could extract from here. This definitely should have something like a self dot lines equals something, and def right summary right lines. Yeah, correct. So that would be that. So this is the right lines, and I would say we can then completely erase this, right? So this would be the header, I would say, yeah? Now let's replace this by self.lines.add append. Yeah, should work. Does that work? Okay, so this works. So we have the timestamp, local time. Yeah, but there could also, I think this could also be there. Yeah, that could also be here. Why not? So we don't need this. So this is the add header. Basically, we can also remove this and put all of this. Oh, it doesn't work. No, sorry, that was my mistake. Something like this. Okay, so basically this just is another method. Yeah, this now has the same things here. Oh. Oh. Ooh. This maybe not be the best thing. This is another thing. So here I would say this is another method. Oh. Yeah, this is completely another method. Okay, hopefully I did not do too many damages here. So the last thing I replaced was below here. I can replace that. Yeah, I think that's okay. All right. So this would be then the, yeah, and this here is, oh, okay, that's a problem. You see, this is a method which belongs in the class above, belongs here. And by just shifting it up or down, it got transferred to the other method. So I'm just now rearranging this thing. And basically what I'm doing is I'm first creating this summary writer. Yeah. And this has a self output. Yeah, that's okay. And in the end, this is the end. Um, okay. Yeah, it's a little bit boring to watch that, I think. Sorry about that. I did not think it would take this much, but yeah. So this should be done here and here. That makes sense. Okay, and here. I would say that should be the header. Yeah, always do that in the init. Self.start time equals time. And then we have here self.start time. That makes sense. Now we have this method here, which I would like to have that at the bottom. Because the last thing we would do. Okay, now we have that, and now we have the add header. This is the first thing, and then we have the next thing, which would be the add NPC lines. So we would have to do that here too. Add header, add NPC lines, write lines. So basically that would be it. Now I'm sure we messed something up. Definitely we messed something up. Here it wants to have NPC forces ticked, yeah, so it's, yeah, it does that. Yeah, so this works. Yeah. I'm not sure if the new lines, okay. We'll see about it. It still has the same output. Oh, wow. Okay. Missing header. Okay, that's easy. So now we have 3 lines more, right? And here... Ah, okay. Maybe instance is also not the best word. But basically it's referring to the instance being given to the summary writer. So it's the instance which holds all the information which is necessary to do this. So instance is not right, so it would be instance. Right? So I think that's that. So we can go do the testing. If the test still works, that works. Okay, I'm not so sure about it, so I will do the task run and just see if it works for the thing here. And before we do then the commits, we can do now remove the suppression of this one method. So this works, and now let's check also let's check the output. Output flange, is the summary still readable? Yeah, I would say that's pretty good. Okay. Now let's see. Now let's see if all those changes makes the linter happy. Rearrange summary writer. And it's also something which you have to pay attention to if you do something like this, is to pay attention that you don't break changes, or to don't break anything which has well, how to tell that. Wait, let me finish that thought. So make sure that you don't change anything from the outside which is still to be run after you change. So that means here I would say in the force extractor there was this write lines or write summary. Where is it? There was this write summary method before, and I kept it and just changed to have it a summary writer here, and just having all this, what it is very short here, to be laid out here. And this is why I can get a around this warning. No, I could not. Man, too many branches. Still having too many branches. Yeah, I thought I would have made sure that I did that. Is it per file? Then that's maybe something completely different. But this is also definitely solvable because I can, why not just do that? Why just not do that summary writer and put it into its own class? Let's just make a new folder called writer. Let's make a new file called summary writer. Right, paste that in here. Perfect. We have to do tons of imports. We don't need all this, huh? What is this? Reader. So we don't need that. No. But what the hell is this? Yeah. Okay. And here. So not a problem, right? So just now there's something to be added here. Like this. Oh. What it is? What is it? Okay. Uh-huh. Cannot import MPCforces-Extractor from partially initialized module. Yeah, I have seen that before. Well, ask Linter. Okay, so what do we have now? Nothing. Huh? But this does complain about... Ah, okay, I think I know what the problem is. The writer does not have something like this. Ah, it's in it. So this should be there, and this should be there. Now it should be a blessing. No. So in the writer we have an init. Let's delete the cache. Let's check it again. No. Oh man. Is it that cyclic import issue? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, circular import. Okay. All right. How should we do that? So the problem is the summary writer has this the MPC forces extractor. But basically I could just say screw it, screw types, and go with that. Would that work? Yeah. I don't like that one bit, but I don't like that one bit. I cannot do that. I cannot do that. So the summary writer does need to know that it has the MPC forces extractor. But on the other hand, okay, I really don't like it, yeah? So I would like to keep it that way. Let's see if I could get around with the forces extractor and say something like that this method here with the right summary the problem is, yeah, let's just flip that away and do the summary writing not here, but let's do it ourselves in the main method. Yeah. So here I would have to this is something which I think is being done by yeah, no, I'm not sure. Oh no. No. This is this thing. Delete inner. Yeah, something like this. So we can delete now this thing because here that's the right summary. Right summary. Okay, so the summary writer is not imported yet. Okay. And we here have to give in the MPC forces extractor. And also the output for. So let's take, for simplicity, let's take just the one from there. So if I have that in the main, sorry, if I have that in the main, I think I also have to have this in the extract CLI method. Because I think here I have the right summary lines too. So here, same thing. I would need the summary writer as an import. Then I can do the right summary. And do here the with visualization. Okay. So that's that. Did I forget something? So main has it. Right summary. And now there should, hopefully there should be, no. Cannot import. Wait a second. I'm 100% forgot to delete an unnecessary import here. But let's do the task format, task lint, task test stuff again. Then I can safely assume that I have that correct. And I think that's also maybe the end then. Oh, too many branches. Still didn't help. All this for nothing, man. So if this is still having the problem, come on, that stupid format thing. If this is still having the problem, then I don't know. I think we have to get rid of branches, get rid of if statements and stuff like that. Simplify the code. Okay. Yeah, I think we solved it. I mean, it's still ugly code. Yeah, don't get me wrong. So add info for single MPC element. Yeah, so there's too many branches here. Yeah, I get that. Something, for example, like this. Yeah. For part, so I would say that could be something like add MPC parts. Yeah, and then we have something like a method. Yeah, then we have that. Oh man, what am I doing? So I think this should be fine. So part 82 forces. So that would be that. MPC part 82 forces. Yeah. Yeah. See, so it's a little bit more spread out. Yeah. I mean, still, there could be a lot more to, yeah, something like structuring the code a little bit better. But I think we solved that now, and I think that's all there is for now to do. We can make it beautiful or more beautiful later. That's definitely not a problem. But yeah, we have a working thing now, and we also could commit it. Let's do the testing once more. And also let's run it. Ah, one failed. Uh-oh. Okay, yeah, that's okay. The right summary is not there anymore. But I think I did not test the summary anyway until now. Okay. Yeah, what did I change? Nothing, huh? Nothing. Okay, so test is passing. I will commit that now. Rearrange. Yeah, it's still the correct description for the commit, I would say. No. Okay. So the first thing is pretty simple. The first thing is pretty simple. It's both on the extract method. So typo has to be no, path has to be before typo. Okay, so what? And now instance of MPCforces-Extractor has no write TCL this lines member. Yeah, that's correct. How did I? Wait a minute. How did I change that? Ah, okay. It's not because of that. What is output with? So the question now is the output folder. The output folder gets created here, but then okay, yes, it should be something like a separate directory. How is it called? TCL visualization. Ah, come on. No. Okay. All right, sync that, and then let's wait for the GitHub action and see if it's still working. And if that's working, I will merge that. And then I think there's the update of documentation still to be done. But I think then there should be nothing standing in our way to just have that installed as a 0.1 version. Okay, let's do a pull request. Now, I'm not sure why, but I'm kind of waiting now for this test to finish. So especially that one. So if that's working, yeah, I will merge that and be done with it. Yeah, I think that worked, right? So that worked. Yeah, okay, so I think I still have to do also some action debugging. Yeah. Alright, but otherwise it went through like a charm. So let's delete the branch. Let's also make sure that we have everything up to date here. Let's go back to the origin development. Let's do some fetching. Let's close all. And also what I like to do now is to make sure that I have something like the delete branch. If I'm done with a branch, I also like to delete it and yeah, be done with that. Good. I think we made some proper progress here. So something maybe like a short summary of what has been done in the latest days. There's quite a few. There's quite a few. Let's see here. So basically, I think everything here now has been done. So a little bit of a documentation, package management, PyPy. PyPy spelled wrong. Create TCL code for visualization is done. CLI interface is done. Separate command is now done. So basically, it's just the documentation I would like to update. And by the way, the documentation, right? So this is still not up to date, but we have that here. But there's also this page called GitHub Pages.io. So if I switch to the branch GitHub Pages, figure, so I can open the index.html. Doesn't make any sense to look at that like this. But this is basically all the content which is needed for the GitHub page. Yeah, and yeah, I cannot watch it here, but normally, normally that's done in docs. No, wait a second. Here, there's mkdocs.yaml, and exactly this URL is reserved for the GitHub's documentation. It's not working. Man. Oh man, why not? I would have guessed that would work now. Okay, that's a pity. But let's see if I can fix that real quick. There is a task called, I think, docs publish. Task docs publish. And this should do the thing here. But somehow I think, yeah, you see here? It should be here. Okay, it's here. But if I copy it from here, it's wrong. Oh, the one is missing. Let me quickly get that. So this is not good. So the mkdocs YAML, yeah, there's the one missing. I would say this is a quick fix. mkdocs URL update. Okay, anyway, this should not fail. This is a little documentation, right? So you have a quick start and the CLI is to be defined later, but basically you can run it like this. And there will be hopefully videos later on how to use it, like little GIFs. I would like to do that and try that out, how this works, so that the user can check it here and see how to work with it. And yeah, that's pretty cool. The only thing I'm not sure why this is, there's here this table of contents, but yeah. Oh, I see what this is. It jumps to, this is just a jumper. All right, okay, so that makes sense. I thought that would be links and dead links for that matter, but okay, yeah. So yeah, pretty cool. I think we made some great progress today. It's been fun. Thanks for being here, for watching. If there's anything you would like to have covered regarding this, if you like to try it out yourself and need maybe some help installation or something like that, just reach out to me. Yeah, other than that, I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow. Let's see about that. Yeah, I'm trying to do it this week, finish the tool and push a 0.1 version, and then maybe start a new project. Let's see how this goes. But I think this is pretty cool, simple, small tool, which basically is small, right? But it has all there is, which we covered in the professional Python course. So basically, that's maybe also like a minimum example for something like a tool in Python with poetry, with docs, with tests, with test coverage being uploaded to the documentation, with GitHub Actions, with, yeah, what else? With PyPy packaging, package management. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, but let me know what you think, and yeah, see you soon. Bye, guys.